Well, I think that Fantastic Four as a game delivers what the movie gives in a way, in the sense because the movie is an origin story. It goes through the transformation of them as regular people who have their own problems into these people with superpowers. And it's been said actually the Fantastic Four, they're not actually superheroes. They're just people with superpowers. They have a business, they incorporate, they do all these things. So in that sense, though, focusing on the superpowers, we really spend a lot of time, you start with each character at the very beginning and you grow up with them. And so as Ben, yeah, you can pick up things, you can pick up a bed and smash someone on the head with it. But some of his more advanced moves you don't learn, and it kind of makes sense that you would sort of figure out how better to use your power. And it makes sense as a game they sort of learn, in the movie, they learn how to work together and they learn how to use their own powers as they go. Johnny can't, float or fly instantly. He actually learns how to do that in the movie. So I think in that way, the game follows the evolution of the characters like the movie. Fantastic Four as a game goes beyond the movie, I think, in a lot of ways because it allows you to go to different areas, different locations, fight different enemies. I mean, if they threw all these characters into the movie, it would get probably pretty muddied and pretty complicated. You only have a couple hours to tell a story in a movie. We have over 10 hours to tell a story in a game. So we are able to spend a lot more time in different locations, go to fight different enemies, really explore that aspect of it. Well, when you look at Fantastic Four, there's some obvious things that you really look at. Obviously, there's four of them, and they work together as a team. So the key aspect of really that we've been focusing on is delivering each character and its unique abilities. You've got Reed who can stretch, you've got Johnny who's on fire, you've got Sue who can turn invisible and use force walls, and you've got Ben who's just a bruiser and he can bust things. Each one of those things you could focus a whole game on. So, we really wanted to make sure that we didn't shortchange any of the characters, that we spent, a lot of time that you could really play through the whole game as one of those characters and it would be fun. The other thing we really focused on is allowing them to work together as a team. So we've spent a lot of time on sort of tuning the system where if you're attacking the same enemy at the same time, some of it happens organically. Two characters attack the same person at the same time, something comes up on screen, you get extra damage, you get extra points. Also, they're special, like for the expert gamer, you can set up team combos that are also a lot of fun. So really, I would say delivering the four characters that are really distinct and unique and cool, and then also finding a way of making them work together. For Fantastic Four, we really focused first on the single-player experience, making sure that was great. We had a huge responsibility to deliver on the four characters, and we really, focused on making the co-op gameplay experience, the two-player on the same console, work. And I think that's where we focused our time, and that's, I think, where the payoff is the largest. So as far as the online goes, that's something we'll leave. We have to leave something on the table for the next round, so that's what we'll look forward to. Fantastic Four was built on a brand new engine, custom built for this. We used some of the things we've learned in past games as far as the tools and as far as working together as a team, but it's all brand new just for this game. Well, I personally am very cynical of movie games. I've been burned by enough of them. I've seen movies that I loved, that I wanted to play the game, and I was disappointed. I've also seen movies that I didn't like and played and didn't buy the game, but then heard, oh, the game's actually pretty good. I think the key as a game developer that you really have to focus on, you have to look at what the material is, and you have to make the game that's best for that. And the nice thing about working with Activision and working with Marvel and Fox is that we've had the flexibility to really take the movie and take what makes sense as a game and also then expand on it. So I think the key thing from a gamer's perspective is we looked at Fantastic Four really as a game property first and then as a movie property second. And that's really where we spent our time, and having them work together, delivering on the cool powers, having them work together in teamwork, having the co-op aspect there. I think that's how we made this a game that is not just a movie game, not just a rehash. I think for the hardcore fans, Fantastic Four, it was really built by hardcore fans. We have some of the people that were there at the beginning, and also we hired some people who are like diehard Fantastic Four people. We really made sure that we focused on what's cool about the characters, what's interesting about them, really trying our best to weave the story and the interpersonal character reactions. That's the one aspect that the movie can do that the game really doesn't focus as much on, is but we do really try to do that, which is, when Johnny and Ben fight. You know, that's like, or Sue, you know, Sue is mad at Reed because he doesn't pay enough attention to her and she feels invisible. You know, those are the kind of things that, you know, we really weave in, but it's not, you know, it's not central. But I think really the cool aspect of the characters, you know, we have also, for the hardcore fan, a lot of the back issues, old issues of Fantastic Four. We have a 5-part interview with Stan Lee, the creator of Fantastic Four, which I'm personally really excited about. And having him in our offices playing the game was just, you know, really fun to see this guy play his own creations and see him come to life. It's really satisfying. Some of the enemies that are not in the movie, Diablo is an example. He's sort of a master of the elements. He can turn himself into this crystalline monster. Mole Man, probably, you know, he's the first enemy I think that the Fantastic Four meet. His mole creature is on the cover of the very first issue of Fantastic Four. You know, and his moloid creatures. He is probably the quintessential Fantastic Four enemy. That's again in the game and not in the movie. You know, there's a number of others that we'll sort of leave for people to discover, but that's, you know, that's one of the fun things about having so much sort of real estate to play with in a game. You get to go beyond the movie. There's a lot of replay value in Fantastic Four. I think you probably won't unlock all the moves for each character. There's a lot of unlockables. I mentioned the Stan Lee interview. You have to earn that. You have to unlock that. Also, again, you'll play through it as a single player. You'll play through it as co-op. You know, there's a lot of different reasons to explore. There's 4 characters to play with. There's a lot of reasons to play through it.
Thanks so much.